What if I told you that for just $2, maybe less, you could stop an entire ant colony dead in its tracks overnight without a single drop of chemical spray? No exterminator, no toxic fumes, no expensive bait stations from the hardware store. Just a simple trick that Amish farmers have been using for generations, long before pest control companies existed to take your money. I know that sounds almost too simple to be true. But stick with me here, because what I'm about to show you has been hiding in plain sight for over 100 years, and the pest control industry would very much prefer you never found out about it. We're talking about a method so effective that once you try it, you'll never buy another ant spray again. And it costs about the same as a pack of gum. So don't go anywhere, because this one is going to change how you think about ants forever. Let's talk about the ant problem for a second. Because if you're watching this, you already know how maddening it is. You spot one ant on your kitchen counter, then two, then suddenly there's a trail of them marching across your floor like they own the place. Because honestly, in that moment, they kind of do. You grab the spray, you kill the ones you can see, and you feel good about it for maybe a day, 2 days at most. Then they're back, sometimes in a completely different spot, sometimes worse than before. Here's the thing nobody tells you at the store when you're buying that $8 can of ant killer. Spraying the ants you can see is almost completely pointless. Those ants, the ones crawling on your counter, they're workers, scouts. The colony sends them out, and there are thousands more back at the nest. You kill 50 workers, the queen just produces 50 more. The colony barely notices. You've spent your money, filled your home with chemicals, and solved absolutely nothing. And the professional exterminator route? We're talking anywhere from $150 to $300 for a single treatment. And most of the time, they're using the same basic active ingredients you could buy yourself, just marked up by a factor of 10. It's a system that's designed to keep you coming back. Pay again next season. Pay again next year. The business model only works if your ant problem never fully goes away. So what actually works? You have to go after the colony, you have to hit the queen, and for that, you need something the workers will carry back to the nest themselves. Something that looks like food but acts like poison once it gets inside. That is exactly what this $2 Amish trick does. Now before I give you the method, let me tell you where this actually comes from. Because understanding the history is what makes you trust it. The Amish have been farming and homesteading without modern chemicals for as long as modern chemicals have existed. They don't use pesticide sprays. They don't call exterminators. When pests show up, and on a working farm, they always show up, they handle it with what they have on hand. Pantry ingredients, old knowledge passed down from parents and grandparents, stuff that worked in 1890 and still works today. The specific combination I'm going to show you is built around borax, a natural mineral salt that's been used as a cleaning and pest control agent since the 1800s. Borax occurs naturally in the earth. It's been mined and used in American households for well over a century, and here's the critical thing. It doesn't work instantly. That's actually the whole point. Borax disrupts an ant's digestive system slowly over 12 to 24 hours. That delay is what makes it brilliant. The worker ant eats the bait, carries more of it back to the nest to share with the colony, feeds it to the queen, and then it starts working. You're not killing the messengers. You're poisoning the message itself and letting the ants do the delivery for you. Amish households kept borax in the pantry alongside baking soda and washing soda. It was a multi-purpose staple, and the bait recipe they used for ants was embarrassingly simple. 2 ingredients, mixed together, placed strategically. That's it. No special equipment, no protective gear, no waiting for a professional to schedule an appointment. You just make it and put it out and let the ants do the rest. This knowledge didn't disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared because there was no money in selling it. You can't build a pest control empire on borax and sugar. So it got quietly buried under marketing budgets and store shelves full of branded sprays. And most people just accepted that that's how it has to be. It doesn't have to be. All right, let's get into it. Here's exactly what you need and exactly what you do. You need 2 things, borax and sugar. That's your whole shopping list. Borax, you'll find it in the laundry aisle, usually sold as a laundry booster. The most common brand is 20 Mule Team Borax, and a box costs around $4 to $5, but will last you for years. You'll use maybe a tablespoon for this whole treatment. So per use, we're talking well under $1. Add some plain white granulated sugar, which you probably already have, and you are done shopping. Now here's the ratio, and this is the part most people get wrong when they try this themselves. You want 1 part borax to 3 parts sugar. That's it. So if you're using 1 tablespoon of borax, mix it with 3 tablespoons of sugar. Mix them together dry first until they're well combined. Then, and here's the key part most people miss, add just enough warm water to dissolve the sugar and create a thick syrup. Not watery, not solid. You want the consistency of a thin honey. This liquid form is critical because ants are attracted to moisture as much as sweetness, and the liquid lets them drink it and carry it back more efficiently than dry bait alone. Now you have your bait. Here's how to deploy it. Take some cotton balls, a few cents each at any dollar store, and soak them in the bait mixture. Then place those soaked cotton balls directly on the ant trails you've identified. Near the baseboards, under the sink, along the edges of your counters, near whatever entry point they seem to be using. Don't place them in the middle of nowhere. You want them right on the path the ants are already traveling. Important warning here. Do not spray anything near the bait. Do not use any ant killer or cleaning spray near those cotton balls. If you do, you'll repel the ants away from the bait, and the whole system breaks down. I know it's tempting to spray the ones you see crawling around. Resist it. Let them find the bait. Let them eat it. Let them carry it home. That's the whole strategy. Also, and this surprises people, in the first few hours, you may actually see more ants than before. That's a good sign. It means the bait is working, and workers are swarming it to bring it back to the nest. Don't panic and don't disturb them. Just let it happen. Replace the cotton balls every day or every other day, keeping them moist. Within 24 to 48 hours, you should start seeing fewer ants. Within 4 to 7 days, most infestations are completely cleared. For larger outdoor colonies or severe indoor infestations, give it a full 2 weeks. Some people add a tiny bit of peanut butter to the mixture as well. Ants that prefer protein over sugar will sometimes respond better to that version. So if you're not seeing much activity on the sweet bait, try the peanut butter variation. One more thing, figure out where they're coming in and seal it after the colony is dead. A little caulk around baseboards, weather stripping on doors. That's your prevention layer once the borax has done its work. Now let me tell you what you can expect to see and when. Most people report a noticeable reduction in ant activity within 48 hours. Not zero, but noticeably fewer. By day 4 or 5, the trails are usually gone. By the end of the first week, the problem is solved in the majority of cases. I've seen this compared directly against commercial ant bait stations, the kind that cost $8 to $12 at the hardware store. And the borax and sugar mixture works at least as well, often faster, and for a fraction of the cost. The active ingredient in many of those commercial baits is, by the way, borax, or a closely related compound. You're paying for the packaging and the brand name, not a superior product. The key difference is freshness. Homemade liquid bait stays attractive to ants longer than dried out commercial stations, which is why it tends to outperform them. When your bait is moist and fragrant, ants find it faster and stay interested in it longer. Here's your bonus tip before we wrap up. Once your ant problem is solved, here's how to make sure it stays solved. Mix equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle and wipe down your counters, baseboards, and windowsills with it. Ants navigate by scent trails. They leave chemical markers for other ants to follow. Vinegar disrupts those trails and essentially erases the map. It doesn't kill them, but it confuses them and keeps them from establishing new routes into your home. Use it as a weekly wipe down, and you'll dramatically reduce how often ants even consider your kitchen a destination worth visiting. 2 ingredients, a few cotton balls, and a spray bottle. That's your entire ant control system. Total cost, under $2. If this video helped you out, hit that like button. It seriously helps this channel more than you might think. And if you've got family or friends dealing with an ant problem right now, share this with them, because this information needs to get out there. Subscribe if you haven't already, because every week we're bringing you more of these forgotten, practical, cheap solutions that actually work. The stuff your grandparents knew and the big companies hope you've forgotten. Drop a comment below and tell me, where are the ants showing up in your house, kitchen, bathroom, outside by the foundation? I read every single one. And next time, we're getting into something really interesting. A trick for keeping mice out of your home permanently using something you probably already have in your spice cabinet. You're not going to want to miss that one. Until then, the best solutions were never the most expensive ones. They were just the ones somebody forgot to sell you.